I bet you thought I would never end up with one of these on my channel, but I have. A little late to the party, but I'm quick when it comes to recognizing a good knife with the Shark Lock, the AD-20 from Andrew Demko. And this one has been pre-stressed, my friends. I bought this on the Hereafter market, the We Beyond market. So I had a person, let me wipe this blade off while I tell you. I had a person email me, one of the viewers going, well, I got about 3 different knives I'd like to sell off. And I think this is around Thanksgiving time, so maybe getting holiday cash together. And one of them was the AD-20. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? AD-20? Yeah. So I go, yeah, I could be interested in that. You know, would you take $50 and a Ganzo for it? And you know what he said? I'm not going to repeat it. That was not a nice thing for him to say. But no, we ended up making a deal. And I got this, you know, he had dropped it on the floor, on the, you know, on the concrete floor in the garage or something, jacking around. God. And so it's got some character to it now. Looks like he got a little character at this end too. So yes, it's full of character. But now you're not afraid to carry it. I mean, it was just a measly $425 new anyhow. So, I mean, come on, get a dozen of them. Be a man. One in every color. Hell, get the handmade one too for $800 and whatever dollars. So the difference between this, of course, and this is the machine ground, the MG20, as opposed to the AD-20, which ain't machine ground, it's hand ground. So instead, you get a hand ground blade. Other than that, it's fairly much identical from what I understand from whoever I asked, okay? And I thought, oh, is this the 3V model? Because I forgot. I slept in the last month and a half, 2 months that I've had this. But no, I did see it on the box. No, this is the 20CV, okay, which they now make some of them in 3V. They're mixing it up. I mean, they're doing a lot of different mixes on the blade steel and whatever. So this is stonewash, of course. And it looks to me like the hand ground ones are satin. So there's that. Other than that, the blade steel's the same. But not necessarily, but that's not the main difference though. Because you can get 20 CV on the hand ground, or you can get 3V on the machine ground, or 20 CV on the machine ground as well. So that's not part of that deal. But this has got that Shark Lock, which is springy, right? So it's got a spring in here. See, push it back, it's spring. Okay, and this is actuating that as well as it rolls around. A little bit kind of similar to the Axis Lock, except yeah, but it's different. What am I trying to think of the kind of lock that they had with the Sandrin Torino? Had a spring back here that was part of that Cenex. He designed that one. And so that one was a lock that had a regular spring. This one has a regular spring, but it's right up in here. We'll see it when we take it apart. But yes, that's what this is all about. Now, you can get this with titanium scales. You can get it with G10 scales, and you can get it in a bunch of different colors. And this is made in the USA, by the way. What's interesting is that you cannot get scales for these. So, like the little character building thing that I got on mine, I thought, well, I'll just get a pair of blue scales, or those, neon green or something like that. No, you won't. Oh, okay. I guess I won't. So no, Demko's not selling them, and it's really interesting. Maybe he plans on doing that going forward. I don't know, but you think about Hinderer, and this is a very. I mean, this really harkens to a Hinderer to me. I mean, it seems very similar to a Hinderer knife in the fact that it's heavy duty. You know, it's a roughy, tufty knife. Okay, it's thick. I mean, this is like 4.5 millimeter blade stock. You know, like 0.179 or something like that. In fact, I'll tell you right now. But so I mean, you know, but Hinderer is doing what like Harley Davidson does, right? There's 4.5 millimeter, 0.17 inch, which is I'll sell you the knife and then I'm gonna let you, you know, spend another $300 pimping it out, making it the way you want it. You be able to change that. You be able to get a titanium pivot that's anodized, a different color. You can get different kinds of standoffs. You can get, you know, this and this and this, and you can change everything up. But that's not what they're doing with these, and I think that's unfortunate because you could buy a set of titanium scales for this. And you could, I mean, I'm surprised Flytanium or somebody else doesn't come in and start kicking out. I mean, because they make G10 scales and stuff as well as titanium scales, but to jump on this aftermarket opportunity. So I'm just saying, okay. Now, it is heavy. It's like 6.2 ounces, by the way. And it's that shark lock is fidgety. I mean, you know, it's fidget friendly. And also you can keep your fingers out of the way of the blade, right? Because you don't have to have them in the way. And you can finger flick, okay, open, okay. You can thumb flick it. You can finger flick it through the cutout. And there's no detent ball. So there is no detent. You can just flip it open, just like that, okay? So it's easy to open in that respect, just like kind of an access lock, really. I mean, you can do that. Grams, 175 grams. So it's definitely not a lightweight gent carry, which is fine. 6.19 ounces. Now, it's bigger than the PM2 because this has a 3.7 inch blade. This has a 3.5 inch blade. Overall, this is 8.25. Overall, this is 8.65 inches. So it's a bigger knife. And it's definitely heavier, almost double the weight. Not quite though. I mean, this is 3.8, this is 6.2. What was I going to do? Oh, okay. I was going to do this. Okay, so let's drag this sucker here. See, it's not 3.75, okay, but it's about 94 millimeters long. Overall, it's not 8.75, but it's over 8.5. So it's 8.65 at 22 centimeters. And it's like 6/10, I believe, of an inch, close, 0.58. Thick and 14.8 millimeters. And like I said, blade stock's 4.5. So, oh yeah. Yeah. That's thick as a brick, isn't it? Now, will it cut anything? Well, you can see the edge here. That's not factory, by the way. Negatory on that. Nah, it wasn't as sharp as I would have liked when I got it, so we changed that. And, yeah, okay. Yes, it'll take care of business now, my friends. Definitely. You know, to tell you the truth, the $800 and some one being a satin grind, and maybe you can get it with stonewash. You probably can if you want. Because I think stonewash is totally appropriate for this because it's, especially when you got G10 scales. I mean, this is a user thing. I mean, that's pretty close. You know, Hinderer in most cases is a stonewash too, but it's because it's a user interface. You know, stonewash is just that kind of thing. And yeah, I like that. I do like stonewash finish. I definitely don't like black coated, but I definitely do like stonewash. I think that's great. And if you would ever get some scratches or flaws, you can always send this off and get it stone washed again. I mean, you can even do stone washing at home if you get set up right. But I mean, so you could just kind of replenish that finish, which is nice. You got these thumb studs on here that are machined, and they're pretty damn cool. Ambidextrous. I wouldn't want on one side, not the other. That just freaks me out. A lot of CRK knives just come with one thumb stud, and you have to send it back to them or whatever, order it special to get ambidextrous ones. Makes no sense to me, but yes, I want ambidextrous. And it's nice. It's heavy duty, you know. Look at these standoffs. Good Lord Almighty. Crazy, crazy, huh? Now, the weird thing, I guess to a degree, and let me see how far this kicks back here. So you could have started maybe a backspacer and worked it around here to kind of give it a total filled in presence here. Instead of, it's kind of odd that the front is closed and yet the back is open. It's usually the front's open and the back has a backspacer. So this would have been kind of nice. And then I'm kind of torn because it's really macho cool to have these pillars here. I mean, are they really standoffs, or are they just like, you know, Greek columns or Egyptian columns of granite? I mean, they are big. They are badass. So it's kind of cool to see them like this. Yet, it would have been interesting to carry this color of G10 on the back as well. So there's that. Now, it's right hand tip up only. And you go, hold on, you got one screw and another screw, and it covers, surrounds the lanyard hole. So we got one screw and a lanyard hole, right? And it's on top of the scales, and the screws are like button tops. So this would be the exact same, right? Wrong. Wrong. You'd have to bend this inside out. See what I'm saying? And at first I thought, well, you could do that. No, you can't flip it. You'd have to get one that's made in the reverse here, where the bend is, instead of going up here, would have to go down because it's got to come up here. All right? See? So you'd have to rebend this entire clip. So you'd need to get one. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of strange that he wouldn't sell a left-hand clip, too. Another thing. Here's your stop for your blade, and you've got these. Now, on I think the titanium one, it's full titanium, and then you've got steel washers, right? Because there's bearings here. But here, since it's G10, you don't have a full liner, okay? 17.4 pH, baby. I just noticed that. Wow, once you get under these studio lights, you start seeing things you never saw before. Anybody know what 17.4 pH means? Let me know, because I just realized that now. And somewhere in here I saw, oh, there it is, 20 CV. See that? 20 CV scratched right there. Interesting, huh? Okay. Because at first I was like, if it doesn't say so on the box, I don't know what this is, because they make them in 3V as well. I'm glad it's 20 CV because it's a full stainless. And yes, I'd much rather have 20 CV than a non-stainless blade, just for pure ease of care. But yeah, I mean, I like it. And, being stonewashed and everything, all the edges are knocked off. You can jump up on this ramp here, and that's nice and jimpy. And this here. But like I was saying, there's no liners in here. But man, that's still, jeez, I mean, that's structural. And you got these pillars here. So, I mean, this whole thing is pretty damn roughy-tufty. You really don't need a full steel liner in here. But you got the steel in there to support this shark lock and all this that's going on in here. And we'll see more when we take it apart. Yet, the pocket clip, remember the pocket clips from the AD-10 and this and that? They were just wide. Remember, they just They were just wide glide all the way down here. This is different. So I like this better than those. And it works well. Okay, it's springy enough and it comes up here, but then it lays flat. So this will go right over the lip of your pocket. I've carried this. Believe me, I'm not shy about that because it's already bounced a few times on the other guy's floor. But I don't know if I'm really digging the way this was done here. There's a lot of square footage going into this whole makeup. And I'm just trying to figure out what could they have done? Could they have repurposed that? Could they have put that lanyard hole somewhere else and then maybe gone deep carry? You see what I'm saying? If they could have redone that, redesigned that, and then brought this to a deep carry somehow, I don't know. I'm not a designer, but that would have worked for me better. I wouldn't mind this in a deep carry, to tell you the truth. So, but easy to deploy and put back. I mean, it's real fidget friendly. It'll drive all your friends insane when you sit there and play with the damn thing. Another thing, I might have not minded if they would have put a little bit more of a choil in here than that. See what I'm saying? Now, there may be also, as you see that hump coming up and meeting the underside of that as a stop. So if you cut that away, you may be interfering in how this knife functions. So right now, me not going to do nothing, Batman. I'll just leave it alone. In fact, I'm leaving this stock anyhow. But yeah, it made me wonder, could that have been changed? And if you look at the design flow as well, of course, you're seeing this. I don't like gaps like that. But then I'm just thinking to myself, nobody's leaving these intentionally. So this is purposeful in the way it has to function here with this shark lock up against this stop here. Could they have wrapped this around a little further? Could they have extended this top part here a little further to wrap completely over that stop, and therefore continued this to meet here? I don't know. And those are just, thoughts of a crazy person. And you get it in this box, which looks pretty much like a lot of cold steel boxes do for some of their models, which would make sense. I mean, because obviously he's done a lot of stuff with cold steel. And there's the little, stuff in there. That's it. That's it, Joe. 4 1/4, but you're getting a knife. You're getting a knife. You don't need a fancy presentation case, okay? And its ergos are good. The way it's set up is good. Finger goes in here. The rest of my fingers go into the canoe, and there's a lot of knives that have that little canoe thing going on. So yes, and it locks you in. Now, if you've got way bigger hands than this, I don't know what you're going to do, okay? Because this is going to limit you right here. You might be able to open this up a little, but that would be kind of changing the situation a bit. But with me, thank God, it's just enough. And if you want to do close up, then you've got extra. Now, the G10 is grippy. It's grippy. It's great. It's this little diamond type pattern. So it's grippy. It's great. It's solid built. It's purpose built. And that, that's not shrinking violet there. That stop, that's sizable. That diameter's, it's pretty stocky. So, yeah. And you got a lot of blade to fling at it, too. Because with 4.5 millimeter thick blade stock, there's some weight there. There's some mass there. But yeah, I like it. I do. I don't know. The more time I spend with it, the more I like it. You can do piercing. You can do slicing. It's a flat grind. So yeah, it's definitely a tough guy, so you can get pretty tough with it. I don't do, overly crazy things with a folding knife because, I just take a fixed blade. I can get me a big old thick tough fixed blade. So I don't use this as a pry bar and stuff, but to a degree. And now you do have bearings in here, so it's not washers. So that does change some of the ideas about how brutal can you get with it, because technically, washers would be a little bit more abuse friendly than maybe the bearings. But I'm not going to worry about that. You know what? I think we're all good anyhow. Where's my balance point on this knife? Well, it's right up here, isn't it? It's right up here. But you got a lot of weight here, and then you got a lot of weight here going back too, especially with these big old standoffs. So pretty well balanced, actually. So many different ways to open and close a knife. You could just do it the shark lock alone, of course, thumb stud, or rear finger, thumb stud, or cutaway, middle finger. I mean, however you want to do that. It's just so easy, so smooth, so nice. So, people go, well, would you rather have this or a hinderer? I'd rather have this, and let me tell you immediately why. Because most hinderer knives are G10 on the front and titanium on the back, and I don't do that. I don't do half and halves anymore. Now, his full track knife has G10 and titanium on the front and back, and they match. And yes, I want a full track in blue G10. Yes, I do. Other than that, I can pass on most of the rest of them. Sorry. This is either full tie or it's full G10. And because you have the shark lock, which is not making you have those choices there, okay? So you can make it matching, both sides. It looks right, and I like it. So Demko, absolutely, did a great job there. And I like the shark lock better than the scorpion lock. I do. I like the triad lock, but this is probably the most fidget friendly thing I've ever seen that's from Demko and or Cold Steel. You see what I'm saying? Because of course the AD-10, AD-15 Cold Steel knives. Yeah, I mean, this is going to drive everybody crazy, and you're going to love it. So just get ready to love it. Now, where are we going? We're going to hell. Get ready. Wait until I blow the spring out of that freaking shark lock. Right? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, well, we got thread locker. We got a locker, all right. Davy Jones's locker. And these are number 8. Okay. All right, right. I'm going to take that pocket clip off because, to me, that screw is definitely involved here. It's holding it together, so I better get with it. And you know what? Hold on. And the other one, too, I believe, right? Oh, yeah, okay. So we're all hooked up. Now, is one screw longer than the other? Than another? Okay, pocket clip. Screws. The 2 on the pocket clip are longer, but of course it's got to go through the pocket clip. So yeah, of course. Okay, so that's easy to figure. Is this going to come off, Batman? Because, with that scorpion lock like that, that may not just pop off too easy. It's doing this. See if I can break the scale in half. Oh, okay. Well, didn't get to break it. So here we go. Oh, by the way, some more character marks. Well, this is a result of the pocket clip. What they could have done if they're going to insist on doing the pocket clip like this. See what I'm saying? What you can do is delete this texture around here so that you're not hitting peaks. You see what I'm saying? So just give it a smooth area wherever the pocket clip is covering over here instead of sitting it on top of this irregular surface. Just a thought. And of course, you could probably do that yourself at home with the right equipment. Okay, now what do we got? Now we got this reinforcement area, and we're also going to, and where we extend our spring the whole way. Yeah, okay, so what we're gonna do as well is we're gonna pick this up off of here. And when we do, we better be ready, because that spring underneath may not be, it may be angry. It may be angry at us. And so let me see if I can roll this around and get the front part of this bust ass loose. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Okay, 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 okay. And it hasn't let go yet. Cover, cover. Okay, so there it is. There's the spring. That baby goes, I'll probably never find it. And that's going to be scary, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to show you this much of it. This spring can come out, okay? And you know what? Okay, I could go further because I could just cover for the spring. But you can see how this is. Okay, let's just take a look at how this is functioning regardless. Okay, so this is your stop when it's open. Okay, now you got to pull this back, and let's pull this back and cover the spring at the same time. Pull this back. So now this pin can move, or this lock mechanism can slide upwards. See how it's sliding upwards because you have this dog leg going here? That gives you clearance for this to leave. Oh, what have we said over here? Oh, just CPM 20 CV on the side of the blade. It's weird. Okay. I guess they're trying to identify, because they do make these in different steels, so they're probably trying to keep everything together. And then the spring is taken over. Where are we meeting to stop the blade? The little tipple there is stopping that blade from crashing into the standoffs. Okay, so that little area right there, and then this. Okay, and then this is the stop when it's open. And these bearings are not ceramic. They're just regulars. Okay. And, you know, we have a little bit of junk in the trunk here, but not much. It's not too bad. And it's called LTK, gonna leave it alone. We're compressing the spring again, and now we're releasing it. Okay. So I like it. It's fairly simple. You know, you've got these reinforced pieces, and of course, since they're steel, you don't need a washer. I believe you have a steel washer in the titanium one because you need one, right? Because you're up against titanium. But here, you got the steel machined in a funky pattern to cover all the necessaries here on the knife. And it kicks right down there. Now we're going to cover that spring. You ain't going nowhere, buddy. And, yeah, so that's your shark lock in a box. And you got to pull to release. Bingo. Hit it on the little tipple. And I'm excited. I did that and I got away with it. So it's kind of like I fought the law and I won. The law didn't win. Okay, and let's get this over here. It's like I'm going to do prayers tonight. Thank you, Jesus, for letting me take it apart. And the spring didn't come clear across the room, slap me in the face, and bounce under something. You know what they say, better be lucky. Better to be lucky than good. And Okay, our little short body screw goes into here. And these are all number 8, so this is a good thing. It's a good thing. Did you guys have $425 worth of fun? God, I hope you did. I'm sweating rockets here. I'm making sure I don't lose shit. It's like, hey, honey, I just blew up a $425 knife. I'll get my butt kicked proper. Okay. No soup for you. No Coors Light for you. And now, how hard did I crank down on this damn pivot? And I don't want to be Mr. Crank. I want to be Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. All right, Aru. Ooh, that almost feels too lanky spanky. You know? Now, maybe I didn't crank down hard enough. Well, okay, it's centered. Well, let's see if we got play. Somehow. Well, I don't when I'm locked up like that. I know it looks like I do, but I got a little tenincy bit. You got to kind of get it in an odd spot to check that. It didn't take much, and yeah, now we're tight. Okay, so now we're still. So I don't know how you did it, Mr. Drew, Mr. Demko, but you got her figured out. And I don't know how your brain works like this, because my brain don't work like this. I wouldn't be getting anything done. But he comes up with the craziest shit. He really does, seriously. But yeah, he put a nice little edge on that puppy. Carry it like a man. Baby, it's slap. Bang. And what do we say? Demko knives. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I always, I like the heft, and I like the heavy bad boy knives. And so, yes, I do like Hinderer concept, but I don't like the half and half. So, yes, if I can get the full track, yes. But at least with the Demko knives, I really need to kind of refocus my attention and play a little bit more with these Demko knives. Because, yes, I mean, that's the way I like to roll. Both sides the same, and a whole lot of heavy-duty crazy in the middle, Yeah. I'm going to let you go, my friends, but thank you so much. The AD-20, we actually did it. We did it. And we love them knives, too. So you guys, stay sharp.